Hey folks, welcome to DocTalk. I'm Dr. Dan Thompson. Thanks for joining me today. Today, we're going to discuss the US Roundtable for Sustainable Beef, and we're going to talk about some of the purposes of this. It's going to be a good show, I think, and I'm glad that you joined us.
Closed captioning brought to you by Ag Promo Source. Together we grow. Learn more at agpromosource.com. This segment brought to you by Kansas Regenerative Medicine. Your stem cells, your health, your life.
Hey folks, welcome to DocTalk. I'm Dr. Dan Thompson, and I'm the Jones Professor of Production Medicine here at Kansas State University in the College of Veterinary Medicine, and we appreciate you watching DocTalk. Today, I wanted to talk to you a little bit because we hear a lot about sustainable beef, about sustainability in the beef industry, and I want to direct you to a group and to a website that can provide you a lot of information. This group of people has been working since 2015, and it is the United States Roundtable for Sustainable Beef. This is a group of folks that has come together. It is beef producers, beef retailers, beef packers, veterinarians, our commodity groups, but really the general thought is this: when we think about sustainability, the term is thrown around an awful lot, and it becomes very confusing, and it gets to the point where it always boils up to saving mankind and saving the planet and global warming and things to that nature. And really what this group is doing, what we want to sustain is we want to sustain our beef heritage, we want to sustain the beef business, and we want everybody involved in that supply chain to pull their weight. So when we think about sustainable beef, that includes seed stock producers, commercial cow-calf producers, stocker backgrounder operators. It includes the feedlot operations, packers, retailers, and the consumer. It isn't just one person is going to carry the water for everybody in the industry. And what the US Roundtable on Sustainable Beef has done is it's brought all these groups together to sit there and look at different facets of the industry. And some of the things that they look at as far as their high priority indicators: animal health and well-being, the efficiency and yield of beef, water resources, land resources, how we're going to make sure that we don't emit greenhouse gases, employee safety and well-being. It is about providing a wholesome, safe beef product while contributing positively to our environment, whether it is the environment is described as the environment in the air and in the land and in the water, or if it's providing a positive environment for our communities and for the groups that are involved in beef industry. In the state of Kansas, for every dollar incline or decline in the beef industry, we'll see a $2 increase or decrease in the overall state's economy. Understanding that the sustainability of beef is important for everyone within this country. Now, when we start to think about sustainability, the one thing that I make sure and clear that if we don't have profitability, there is no sustainability. So economic models, economic associations have to be, if it costs more, we need to be paid more, regardless of what segment you are in the beef industry. So I think that as we go through this today, and I point you to this website, I think we'll have a pretty good discussion on beef sustainability and some of the things that you can do to get involved on your farm, and then start to see them happening within the beef supply chain, selling your beef to our consumers.
To see this show and past episodes of Ag AM in Kansas, go online to agamnkansas.com.
Working your cattle just got easier. Introducing the new Vet Gun delivery system, a new way to apply topical insecticides to your cattle. The Vet Gun lets you remotely treat cattle with effective parasite control, so you can do it just walking among the herd. It's that simple. The proven topical insecticide AML Vet Cap is used with the Vet Gun. It works fast to control horn flies and lice while minimizing stress on your cattle. Fast, easy, effective. Vet Gun. Check with your animal health supplier for availability.
Fort Wallace was the fightingest fort in the West. Fossils, Indians, soldiers, scouts, wagons, trails, pioneers, stories. Discover the story of Fort Wallace and the people who served here, the people who fought here, the people who settled here. Wallace County, where the past is present.
This segment brought to you by Santa Fe Trail Meats in Overbrook. Visit us online at sftmeats.com.
Hey folks, welcome back to DocTalk. I'm Dr. Dan Thompson. Glad that you joined us here at Kansas State University. I'm in my office. I came off a sabbatical, been out on mixed animal and feedlot practice, and now I'm back at the university. So today, a little glimpse back inside the old gulag as we start to describe the US Roundtable on Sustainable Beef. When we think about this group, and I said that it's broken up into, when you look at the life cycle of the beef industry, the way that this is broken down in the beef life cycle, we've really broken it down into 5 areas. The cow-calf and seed stock and commercial cow-calf producers, the livestock auction markets, the feedlots, the packers and processors, and the retailer and food service. So when we start to talk about these different iterations, so what can we do for animal health and well-being? Within each of these segments, there might be or there might not be an application for animal welfare or for sustainable water usage or for land usage. But where there is, what this group has done, the first thing that they did was in 2015, they brought these groups together. And everybody decided to become a member of the US Roundtable on Sustainable Beef so that we could put forth one set of guidelines instead of having a guideline over here or a guideline over there, or this group is more sustainable than that group, or animal welfare. They decided, let's pool our resources, let's work together for the common good of the beef industry and for the beef consumer and for the cattle, and then let's bring forward some of the things that we consider to be important so that the beef industry is sustainable. I used to think that these were being guidelines that were handed down like some EPA, Waters of the US, we're gonna come and monitor you. But as I learned more about sustainability and I learned about the importance of animal health and well-being and disease control in being able to stay in the beef industry. So sustainability really means, how do we keep what we have going and improve for tomorrow? How do we protect the heritage so that we can pass down our way of life or our businesses to the next generation? How do we make sure that we are sustainable and that we are competitive moving forward as an animal protein source? The first thing that they touch on are the water resources. And water resources are vitally important. And I think that as we go through this drought situation, it's not so much that we're looking towards research, but we're looking towards examples, such that if we have a drought situation and one person's able to keep their cows and the other person has to sell them because of lack of water, what did that person do to maintain water resources? When we can't hit well water in aquifers, how do we capture rain retention water? How are we doing things to protect the pond dams and have individual point drinkers for cows? It's things like that we can do to help prevent hauling water, even if we can haul water, to maintain our cow herd, to make sure that we have clean water, to make sure we have adequate water supply, and that we have the ability to be sustainable in our environment. More to come on sustainability after this message. Hey folks, Dr. Dan here. Thanks for joining us for our Cattle First Minute, as sponsored by Behringer Ingelheim Vet Medica. And Today we're going to talk about identifying sick cattle, and the first thing I look for in identifying sick cattle is cattle that aren't eating. So we're going to look for slab-sided or gant cattle, and sick cattle don't eat, and cattle that don't eat get sick. The next thing I'll look at is depression. Is the animal depressed? Does it have a dull, listless appearance? Does it try to just kind of snake away from me? And so a calf that's not coming to the bunk, one that's got a dull appearance, depressed appearance, those are going to be my two big clinical signs to get those calves out of the pen. And so the DART method, depression, anorexia, respiratory rate, limping, other things that will show you signs that cattle are sick or that cattle need to be helped.
Sure Crop Fertilizers was started by my father, Don Sherman, and my mother, Shirley Sherman. Family business that started in the 80s. We predominantly focus on plant nutrients and what we can do to give growers better responses with the fertilizer dollars that they do, and what we can do to make those things work better for that grower. We're based out of Seneca, Kansas. We work with growers in their soil analysis to figure out what they need, and then we can put those in a blend that gives them the best results, and so that we can deliver that direct to their farm so that they have those nutrients where they need them, when they need them, and so that they can apply them in a manner that's very efficient to them and works well on their planting systems and what they're doing. Sure Crop Fertilizers has been around for a long time. We always say we're big enough to take care of everything you need, but we're small enough to do it quickly. You can get a hold of us at 1-800-635-4743. Our website is surecropfertilizers.com, and you can always email me at Corey@surecropfertilizers.com, and with any questions you have, and we're glad to answer and work with you.
Ag Promo Source is a unique group of marketing specialists with one mission: help your ag business grow. Each affiliate has their own area of expertise, and they work together to bring you advice, products, and services. To get started, visit agpromosource.com. Ag Promo Source, together we grow.
Did you know long-range planning through the checkoff can help keep your business profitable? To successfully pass on cattle operations from one generation to the next, it's important to promote beef and keep farms and ranches profitable. Your beef checkoff helps do that.
We're Jurger's Cattle Company, cow-calf operation primarily, with a small replacement heifer operation. We started our operation in 2012, but we expanded on my father-in-law's operation, who started in the 70s, and built off his expertise and his knowledge, and have taken and grown it to what it is today. We span about 4 different counties in North and South Carolina, running about 1,000 acres with 350 roughly head of mama cows. My husband and I and my son and my father-in-law operate together. About 2 years ago, we decided to make the switch to become all-natural producers. And what that means is it's a certain standard of quality and life for not only the calves that become part of the food source and the meat itself, but the cows also. Beef checkoff is important for our operation in a twofold way. First is marketing, creating a customer for us. We sell directly to feedlots, but our end game is the consumer. We want to create a product for the consumer that they desire, that they want to go back to the supermarket or steakhouse and they want more beef. Everybody knows the slogan, beef is what's for dinner, but it falls even more than that in that they've raised consumer awareness in quality, which is important to us because we try to focus heavily on our genetics. That's a main component of our operation, and the checkoff has allowed us to do that by promoting a product that's important to the consumer, that it's good quality, it's safe, it's nutritious, and they're gonna want to be return customers.
I'm Rexanne Struve, veterinarian in Western Iowa. I have a veterinary clinic and started doing stem cell therapy on dogs in August of 2014. And after the first 2 dogs, after 3 weeks, I saw such dramatic results. I said, hey, I have arthritis, I have joints that really need this help. Where can I go to get this done? I had stem cell therapy done in November of 2014 on my finger joints, my hip, and the ball of my left foot, all of which I'd had real severe problems with. Saw a pretty dramatic improvement in a short amount of time. I would certainly recommend that somebody don't wait until I'm in the position that I was in with the damage already done to my joints. I encourage veterinarians to use it for their animals, and I encourage anybody who sees this video, if you have need, get in contact with these people, because this is a phenomenal place to have this done.
This segment brought to you by Kansas Soybean Commission. Progress powered by Kansas farmers.
Hey folks, welcome back to DocTalk. Dr. Dan Thompson here, and we're kind of going through some of the things that are important to the sustainability of beef, and understanding that sustainability means us being sustainable in business. And all of these things, all of these indicators, all of these metrics lead to us being more profitable, making our product safer, more wholesome, and more readily available for our consumer. So having everybody on board, from the person that raises the calf to the person that sells the hamburger, is vitally important. When we look at yield and efficiency, some of the things that cow-calf are implementing ways to optimize animal productivity through nutrition, reproduction, genetics, technologies, the auction market, some of the indicators for water resources, employee safety and well-being. In the feed yard is cattle performance and the operational efficiency tracked over time. Many of these different things are going to be vitally important. And I think that when we get to the packer and processor level, one of the things that is important to understand there is, how do we decrease food wastage? How do we improve the efficiency of beef being consumed and not being wasted, and things to that nature. When we talk about air and greenhouse, we have talked about this over many, many years, about the beef industry and cow flatulence, and whether or not, what's amazing to me is we study sustainability. What we're finding out in Brazil, to sustain the rainforests of Brazil, the best thing for the beef industry to do in Brazil is to bring those cattle in off of pasture and feed them in a feedlot like we do in the U.S. The US Roundtable on Sustainable Beef is the cutting edge when it comes to, we will be global leaders. It is something that we need to embrace as an industry, and something that we need to get involved as we look at this. But understanding how we can decrease air and gas emissions is going to be important, but I think that we have a pretty good handle on that as we move forward. Land resources are very, very important, and if you've gone to try to buy some land, you'll understand that it's not cheap. But do we have a grazing management plan? The old adage, take half and leave half. How are we managing to make sure that we don't overgraze, how we don't undergraze? Prescribed burnings, things that we can do to manage the land so that we have more grass for more cattle, understanding that land resources on the other side, when we look at feedlots, is understanding how are we going to dispose of our waste. So when we have waste products that build up in the feed yard, how are we returning those in the life cycle of the industry? Again, some of the things for packers and processors: do we have initiatives to explore opportunities to mitigate land and biodiversity impacts? And then the retail: has the company assessed the deforestation risk of its beef supply chain? And again, the more we learn about deforestation and we look at it globally, we're finding out that the practices that have led us to the point where we are in the beef industry today are the places that other countries are tending to look, so that they can improve the deforestation of the rainforest and other places in the world to provide a more efficient use of land, water, and decrease air and gas emissions to protect the environment, and that is building a feedlot. Many more things to come here. We're going to take a break. We'll come back. We'll wrap up on US Roundtable on Sustainable Beef.
Hi, I'm Kim Mandarin with Hardy Insurance. I'm here to help you with all of your farm and ranch needs. When it comes to protecting your operation and your family, you need a name you can trust at a price you can afford. Call me today or visit hardyaviationins.com.
Healthy cows start with the new hired hand automatic livestock sprayer. Rancher invented to provide an efficient alternative to pour-on and injectable parasite management systems. The portable design allows cattle to treat themselves head to hoof. Strategic device placement with pass-through activation technology takes the stress out of parasite treatment for cattle and the rancher, leaving more time to tend to other vital tasks on the farm. To learn more, visit cowsprayer.com. The new hired hand makes healthy cows easy.
No matter where, no matter why, the Veterinary Health Center at Kansas State University is committed to providing quality patient care to animals and exceptional customer service to their owners. From routine checkups to emergency and specialty care, our world-renowned specialists and experienced professionals are here to discover, to teach, and to heal.
Let us know.
How can I help?
How can we help?
Valley Vet Supply is devoted to providing information and professional quality products at reasonable prices.
ValleyVet.com, ValleyVet.com, Valley Vet Supply.
We do business with Blueville because of the quality of their work. It is excellent quality, and because they make a commitment to their customers.
We enjoy the benefits of hiring a good company to help us maintain this home.
We will always do business with Blueville. We have for many, many years, and there's no reason for us to look for any other service.
This segment brought to you by Kansas Farm Bureau, the voice of agriculture. To join today or more information, go to kfb.org or find us on Facebook or Twitter.
Hey folks, welcome back to DocTalk. Dr. Dan Thompson here talking about the US Roundtable on Sustainable Beef. It's a great group of people that has decided to look at 6 key indicators: yield and efficiency, land use, water use, gas emissions and greenhouse gas production. But also the 2 things that really work hard to fit into sustainability is the animal health and well-being and our employee safety and well-being. That's 2 groups of people and animals that I care deeply about, and I love working with them as a veterinarian. And so when we think about animal health and well-being, there are different diseases that we have to control, whether it's diseases that decrease the production efficiency within a farm, or diseases that cause morbidity and death loss that can decrease the efficiency of the industry, which increases the number of natural resources needed to produce a pound of beef. All of this relates back to our profitability. So when we think about sustainability and animal health, we're going to think about working to prevent disease. We're going to work within the different industry segments, whether it's scours and proper weaning on the cow-calf ranch, auction markets, providing biosecurity and understanding of what animals need to have before they have a change of address getting to the feedlot. And then when they get to the feedlot, it's not only do we think about bovine respiratory disease and lameness, but now we start thinking about pre-harvest food safety and how do we prevent E. coli and salmonella winding up in the GI tracts of cattle that then go to the packer, right? And the packer has an incredible post-harvest food safety platform, which then goes to the retailer that has an understanding of all that we have to do to raise a healthy calf so that they can then make sure that their employees cook it to the right temperature and wash their hands. When we think about employee safety and well-being, I think about making sure that we have the right equipment to do the job, making sure that we're not putting ourselves in harm's way. We understand cattle behavior, that we have the right working facilities, that we have lockout, tagout, and feedlots and that, because one of our most vital resources, we can talk about land, we can talk about water, we can talk about a lot of different things, but probably to me one of our most vital resources in this industry are the employees that have decided that they want to stay outside and have the snow blowing down their back of their neck while they're riding pens, understanding that there could be an easier job, but they love what they do to provide safe, wholesome food, safe, wholesome beef for our consumer. So I commend the men and women of our beef industry that are out there every day in the trenches, that are working hard in all these different segments. I also commend the men and women that are our leaders for the US Roundtable on Sustainable Beef. We as a beef industry need to get behind this group. We need to support this group, and you can become a member if you go to the US Roundtable on Sustainable Beef's website. Remember to always work with your local veterinarian, and if you want to know more about what we do here on DocTalk, you can find us on the web at www.doctalktv.com. Thanks for watching this show today. Support the US Roundtable on Sustainable Beef. I'm Dr. Dan Thompson, and I'll see you down the road.
Closed captioning brought to you by Ag Promo Source. Together we grow. Learn more at agpromosource.com.